Thank you, Zach, for having me. Thank you, other readers, for reading me. Adorable Wounds. And this one comes with an epigraph from Gerard Manley Hopkins. And this is his letter explaining his conversion to Catholicism to his father. Approach Christ in a new way, not vaguely, but casting yourself into his sacred broken heart and his 5 adorable wounds. Adorable wounds. When his side opened up like a tent, it was a little tent, because he was man-sized. And when the water came out, it was not much. The tent held nothing but the spear that made it, and that only briefly. The other wounds held only nails. Is it blasphemy to be the nail, the spear, to want to be the nail, the spear? That there was a body is the miracle. There is only one passion, one adoration, one love. Let me sleep inside that tent. Let me be that nail. So Elizabeth Kubler-Ross is the psychologist who came up with the stages of grief and depression, anger, bargaining. They're in the song. You'll hear them. Elegy 3. And these are elegies from my mother. Elegy 3, the Kubler-Ross joke. You taught me that I can't lie down on the floor, though it's my favorite place to lie. And it turns out you can at the airport when your mother's dead. Your death is a kind of get-out-of-jail-free card, a hall pass for whatever I want to do, and the plane has been canceled, your funeral is in 12 hours, and I can lie down on this floor. It's firm and sturdy. I've laid down on rotting floors in decaying buildings, but the floors of American airports are as smooth and as firm as cool bathroom tile in a hangover. Michael asks if this is depression, mentioning that he preferred denial, as he explains to the security guard that my mother died, and that we're waiting for the plane to be rescheduled, and we're left alone. Did you catch the Kubler-Ross joke? It never got funny. We much prefer the Mary Tyler Moore joke. Ditto the Mary Baker Eddy joke. The Oscar Wilde joke is always funny. But the Kubler-Ross joke was stale before we started. Do you know that her last books were proofs of the existence of an afterlife? Just like Socrates. I haven't read them yet, but I can't imagine that I'll agree. I'd talk to you differently if you were here. I wouldn't be angry or depressed. I wouldn't be bargaining or in denial. See, I told you it never got funny. A tallis is a kind of prayer shawl, and I was looking for the name of the thing you stitch on the tallis to decorate it, and I settled on tallis piece. But Elegy 4, tallis. I don't tell Dad that you never finished cross-stitching the tallis piece because you were punishing him. You wouldn't tell him, so why should I? I finished the curtains you were planning, though I didn't line them. I passed on the unfinished quilt to your quilting friend, but no way I'm going to cross-stitch. And besides, that was what, 4 or 5 crafts ago? After stained glass and decoupage, but before basket weaving, toll painting, knitting, crochet, and quilting. That's the problem with this family. We're just no good at punishing each other. Or rather, no one can ever get results. Everyone wants everyone else to be different, but we can't make it happen. When you told me that you were putting this off out of anger, I asked if Dad knew you were punishing him, and you said no, he just thinks I'm lazy. And I said, how's that working out for you? And you said, just fine. The person you cannot love is brushing his teeth somewhere, in a prison, the White House, the servant quarters. The person you cannot love is giving a concert right now, where an agent will sign her, and soon an entire marketing machine will click into place behind her, and you will hear her voice every day for 6 months or more, but you will not love her. The person you cannot love is having a limb amputated and talking to a doctor and calling his friend to see how the amputation went or what the prognosis is. There are too many people in this world to not love. Continents full of them, even though you remain sure that even every city, hell, every street has at least one person you could love. And now you're getting angry, saying, there are many, many people I love everywhere. There's no one I can't love. I'm a good Christian. I love everyone, but oh, is truth at your door now? With his printouts of personal ads and newspaper articles about world leaders and photographs of third world children with unhealed hair lips and press packets for tomorrow's stars, and soon you will admit to how much you cannot love, and how the world will never get better, and you will say, truth, please, show me less of the world. Find me someone I can make happy. Pedophile. There's a long debate on whether this poem should be called pedophile or pedophilia, but we still like pedophile. Pedophile. I mentioned the 13-year-old boy with a life sentence tried as an adult, and Kevin says, if he's being tried as an adult, I don't see why I can't have sex with him. And for a moment, I think Kevin means the actual person in question, that he somehow knew this actual 13-year-old boy, that their probable mutual sexual activity had been stunted, that some embodied hand of a statutory rape law had stayed this, before I realized that this must be a hypothetical, that we're states away from this condemned boy. But then I noticed that Kevin is really angry. And I'm not sure if it's over the life sentence, or the age of consent, or the inconsistency of the law. I mean, he continues, if killing someone is the kind of adult action that makes you an adult, then what the hell is a blowjob? And even as I'm contemplating that he's right, that it doesn't make sense that a 13-year-old can become an adult through violence, but not through sex. Even as I'm contemplating this, I'm also wondering how I can get out of this conversation. There'll be no more coffee dates to discuss Derrida, at least not with Kevin. and this is my last poem. And the envy is Michael Berger, my loving husband, that New York State thinks maybe ought not become my husband in New York State, but is okay with him having become my husband in Massachusetts. I love you and all you have made for envy in Bed-Stuy. The flowers are shocking on our shell-shocked block, where everything is your doing. The garden plot you wrested from the concrete with jackhammers and bordered with cinder block. The soil you carried home in the wheelbarrow, the bulbs I helped you pick, the jasmine you ordered online, the rose bushes you brought home on the bus. I've always marveled at your passion for plants, the custom-made boxes on 57th Street, the hanging baskets on South Portland, the way plants grow for you, the way cuttings hang on for you, years at a time. The only plant I ever did well with was a ficus tree named Charlie, who would only grow in my room, and I still believe it was because he loved me. Some days, I flatter myself to think that I'm one of your flowers. Some days, I flatter myself to think I might.